Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and remember, context is everything. Media Network founder and CEO John Michael is watching a television show. This TV show is Twin Peaks, and I've watched it 20 times in its entirety. This is the 21st time. So, upon watching episode 4 of season 1, which is the fifth installment of the series, pilot 1, 2, 3, 4, here we are at the first point. Again, this is a viewing companion. You watch the episode or you've seen the show, and then you watch this and you see, oh, here's some extra tidbits. Context is everything, right? Here's some extra context to the show Twin Peaks. If you enjoy what you see in the next minute and a half, please subscribe. Here we are, timestamp 2 minutes. More from the international pilot. So, Sarah Palmer, Laura's mother, she is talking about visions that she had. These visions are spoken of in the international pilot instantaneously, right away, whereas here in the fifth episode. So, international pilot comes back again. Again, if you've watched Twin Peaks but you've never seen the international pilot, a nice little dose of fresh, new material for you. You can watch it on the Blu-ray box set. At 5 minutes, one of the early great scenes involving Dr. Jacoby, where Dr. Jacoby's sitting in the shadow of the Great Tibet billboard that Agent Cooper had for his lesson in the field a few episodes previous. In this scene, it's just a nice little character building of Dr. Jacoby, but he says something profound. He says, the problems of our entire society are of a sexual nature. After Dale Cooper says, were her problems of a sexual nature, referring to Laura Palmer, who has passed away since? He says, the problems of our entire society are, and he goes on to give some examples. Profound. Is he wrong? You decide. And here we have minute 9, 5 seconds in, Dale Cooper looking at the sketch of Bob. Or, I guess you don't know that name yet. Well, looking at the sketch of the long-haired man, and he's... I guess I gotta redo the whole thing. I shouldn't have said that, right? I'm not gonna redo the whole thing. He's looking at the picture of the long-haired man from the dreams, and he says, I'm a strong sender, which is why he didn't go to the drawing the time when they were getting the information for that police sketch. I think it's just an interesting thing to say, that he's not going to go because he's going to cosmically send and muddle the signal from Sarah Palmer as she's describing the man she's seen in her dream. Oh, also, really funny line, I think, at the end of that is Andy Brennan, the deputy, talking to Dale Cooper, giving him directions, saying that it'll take 30 minutes to get somewhere. Well, Harry Truman says it'll take 10 minutes. And then the more dull individual, Deputy Andy, says, it depends how you go. It could take 30 minutes, it could take 10. In a classic sequence of monkey see, monkey do, here we have the gunplay moment when the deputy, the sheriff, and Agent Dale Cooper approach the door. This is at 11 minutes and 14 seconds. Approach the door of Mike, the guy they are looking for in terms of the one-armed man. Now, the gunplay occurs because Andy Brennan sees Dale Cooper and Sheriff Truman pulling their guns. So he does so after the fact, and he does so clumsily, and it falls to the ground and fires, causing a sequence of chaos, but I guess the chaos doesn't get too chaotic. In the high school restroom, a lot of story points are established here. At 14 minutes and 15 seconds, you have Audrey Horne, and you have um, what's her name? You have Audrey Horne and Donna Hayward in the restroom at the high school, really just giving you a sum up of what has happened and what is going to happen next in their segment of the story. So they reside in two different portions of the story, the Audrey Horne path and the Donna Hayward James Hurley path. This is them intersecting and telling what they are going to do. Uh, it's good to set these intentions for the series in a new setting because it makes it seem novel. There's some fun dialogue, but it also kind of alerts the viewer to this is something new. Listen here. And it works. 20 minutes and 58 seconds. Cooper and the gang are in the Lydecker Animal Veterinary Hospital, and you get some Cooper wisdom. Investigative pursuit. Not all, not everything goes in a straight line, so things happen strangely, but pay attention, he says. An interesting line, and then he says, it's clear as the signs on the turnpike that the bird that was injured, that was involved, came from this hospital, this animal hospital. And I just like when Cooper gives insights. 24 minutes on the nose. More lying. And this is more training to not lie in the future. Bobby Briggs talking to Shelley Johnson, telling her, you've never seen it. You've never seen this item. Now you say it, which is the way that you would train to lie. You would say it first so that you can sound more convincing when you say it again. Talk of women here in the gun range. The guys at the police station are at the gun range because Deputy Andy made a big misstep by firing his gun accidentally in public. So they're at the thing. They're talking about, why are you so stressed out? Well, he's stressed out because of a woman. There's no logic at play here, Andy. And they go on and on and on. And this is about a bit of context and character building for a number of these characters here. Harry Truman, the sheriff, doesn't say anything. He is in the current stage with Josie Packard that is still in development. So that's that. Talk of women. 6:26:30. What do you get when you cross a Norwegian and a Swede? Here, a business call of Ben Horne, who's rapidly becoming an interesting character because of his humor. And he's really not a good man, but definitely entertaining on the screen. Here at 33 minutes and 22 seconds, what do you get when you cross a Norwegian and a Swede on a business call with a prospective client, and then his brother subsequently, who's courting the client, who's vetting the client, who's with the client on a plane coming to Twin Peaks. Beautiful aesthetic in the room. Look at the outfit. He's wearing a Fila jumpsuit, really good. And you have Audrey Horne talking to him now, his daughter, when she says, are you ashamed of me? And then he says, as his answer, a really great answer, I think, in terms of script writing for the tone of the show, he says, to the question of, are you ashamed of me? He says, you're my daughter. That's all he says. And she's lying to him, as she explained in the high school restroom for her plot to investigate. She's lying, more lies to carry the story forward, right? When two events happen at the same time, you should always pay strict attention. If two events that are related to the same subject happen at the same time, you should always pay strict attention, even if they're separate. So it was like a phone call and Andy finding something about the investigation. They happen separately, but at the same time on the same subject. And this is more Dale Cooper wisdom, which, I always find interesting. I'm sure that it's based in some truth, but who knows? It's all cosmic and weird. an interesting scene in a new setting with in the forest. You have um, you have Leo Johnson and you have Ben Horn talking about a plot to burn down the mill. That's what they're talking about in the scene. And also, you see, in a bit of a flex, a power move, you see Leo Johnson saying, I murdered that man there who might have given an out on me for crimes that I've committed. And then he says something to the effect of, like I said, the guy who I murdered isn't very bright. And it's just something in real life that I appreciate. I like it when people say, as I said, or again, or like I said earlier. I like it when people say that after having not mentioned whatever they're repeating before. And he does that there. Whether that is written in or an accident, I find it to be realistic and charming, even though he just committed brutal murder. Here we are in the next scene, right away. Somebody must have followed us. This is James and Donna talking about how on earth could Sarah Palmer, Laura's mother, know about this, what do you call it, this necklace buried in the dirt when they were the only people there. You hear an owl coo at this moment, and that is just a moment to note down. Somebody must have followed us, is the saying, the statement, which, if you will recall, someone did follow them, but it was not Sarah Palmer. It was Dr. Jacoby. All right, that's it. I hope you have a lovely day. Here's the drawing of the episode. I'm not a great artist, but this is the thumbnail for the show.